Hi folks, I'm Matt Selic with the 100 Mile Arts Network. Today on Art to Heart, we travel to Maniwaki and to the Algonquin First Nation Reserve of Kitigan-Zibi. It's there we meet with Stephanie Tenasco, a traditional moccasin and beadwork artist who learned her craft from the elders in the community. In turn, she's now able to offer these teachings to a new generation. Let's meet Stephanie and learn a little bit about her work. Hey Stephanie, thanks so much for having us here on this beautiful day in Kitigan-Zibi. Beautiful but buggy day. How are you doing?
I'm good, actually. Thank you for coming down and visiting me.
Yeah, our pleasure. Tell us a little bit about how it is that you came to live and work here in Kitigan-Zibi.
Kwe, so I'll just start off by saying Kwe, Stephanie Tenasco Nidishnikas, Kitigan-Zibi Nindonjaba. I am from Kitigan-Zibi and my name is Stephanie. I was born and raised here. I love to make moccasins and beadwork. I started when I was about 8 years old. They had a program here in the community for a few little girls that wanted to join this 1 week workshop. And a few of the older women in the community had crafts and skills that they wanted to teach us little girls. I was fortunate enough to be able to join this 1 week workshop, and they taught us how to sew, how to bead, and that's when I learned how to make my first pair of moccasins. I was 8 years old, and I've never stopped since. And they taught us how to, from scratch, how to cut your leather, sew pleats, bead, and I'm fortunate enough that I had that opportunity to learn from the women in my community, and I'm now able to pass it down to people in my community as well as out of the community as well. So I'm happy to be able to do that.
So what is it about the actual process of doing this that is enjoyable or meaningful for you? Like, what excites you about deciding to getting into it and then actually doing the work?
I think it's the creation of the pair of moccasins that I make. They're always different, they're always unique. And it depends on your mood, how you feel. That's what I bead. And usually it's more nature, plant-based kind of beadwork, like my earrings today. These are strawberries, and in our language we call that odemin. And it depends how I feel, and each pair of moccasins comes out or looks different and has a story. And yeah,
they're all unique.
Yeah, they're all unique.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, what are some of the things you've learned in this process?
Like art. We're here to talk about art, and my art is making moccasins. And I think art is a form of therapy. And when I was when I was 35, 36, I had a tragic event happen to me, and that's when I really, really, really started to focus more on making art, doing beadwork, because I was just focusing more on myself and positivity, and yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your story, your life, and your work.
All right, miigwech.
Miigwech. Okay, so just show me a little bit about what you do here.
Okay, so I'll just show you how I assemble a moccasin. So I just already traced out the foot of the moccasin, and this is there's different beadwork that you can do. It could just be with leather, but this one is fully beaded. So this is on the top of your moccasin.
And that's something that you made yourself?
Yeah, I beaded this myself. There's different ways. You can just put leather, and we call this a tongue. Some people call it a vamp. I call it a tongue, and only reason is that it's the shape of a tongue, like a tongue, and it's top of a moccasin. So I'm just going to cut this out. This leather is deer hide, and it's hand tanned deer hide. So there's a process that is done to get this color. It's scraped, and then you pull. You have to pull on the leather, and then you have put it over. You smoke it. You smoke it over a fire to get this color over different types of wood outside. So obviously you can't smell this from the camera, but you can sort of smell that it is smoky, like, but a nice smokiness. So right now I'm just cutting the back of the moccasin. So you see it's in a kind of a circle shape. This is the back of the moccasin, the heel. So this is how it's going to
look at that.
Be like assembled, sort of. So these are the tips and tricks when I start to make this moccasin. I say, okay, I usually grab a pen or a pencil, cut it in half like this, make a marking. There's a mark here and a mark here, and again fold it in half. Mark here, so you have 1, 2, 3 points, as well as on your moccasin. I've already made the markings. 1, 2, 3. So what you're going to do, there's a rough side and more of a smooth side. So we're going to put the nice side and the nice side together. So right now I don't really know terminology per se. When I do workshops, I like to just show people it, like just watch me, because that's how I was taught, was by just looking like this. And imagine being 8 years old and somebody showing you how to do this, and they say, okay, go sit down now, go sit down and go do this on your own. Okay. So they show you once, you go sit down, and if you mess up, they say, okay, let's take it apart and start again. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just tacking the corners here, just so that they don't that my tongue stays in the same place and doesn't move before I start pleating. Otherwise, if I didn't tack that down and you started making pleats are just bunching up material like this, so you have so it kind of comes together at the toe. Otherwise it would be crooked like this. You'd have like kind of a lopsided moccasin, which you kind of don't want. So usually I use a piece of leather like this in between, and in between my moccasin. It's more for aesthetics, or aesthetic, is that what that's what the word called? It's just to look, to make it look pretty. Otherwise, if you don't have this piece of material in between, it's kind of like you're gonna see your strings kind of look like this, like they're busting apart or something.
I see.
Here, now we're at the point of pleating. So what you're going to do for pleating, you're going to take, do you see that there's excess material here on this side?
Yes.
And you want it, you're going to take a little bunch like this, and you're gonna sew
I can
around.
see why people would find it challenging.
Yeah. You just kind of have to hold it with your finger, your thumb. Grab some more material. You're going to do that all the way around. So here is one that I've started, so you can see these are the pleats. So I'll just continue, and you just keep pleating. So you have to kind of figure, okay, this is how much material left I have, so you figure out how much pleats that you have to do. So almost finished. I'll use a little lighter, kind of burn the end so that it doesn't
unravel.
So then this is
big moment, big reveal.
Big reveal.
Wow.
Ta-da.
actually looks like something.
Yeah, so these are the pleats that we've done. So you're bunching up the material around your foot. So this it would be like my foot. And then this is the back that we have to sew up. And then you usually put a lining inside or material. And you could either put some more leather around to make a wraparound moccasin, a boot, or fur. So once you do this, you'd sew up the back, and depending on what your style is, if you want to wrap around or with fur, then they would look like this. So this I just put beaver fur, but there's different types of fur you can use, but I tend to use beaver fur. And there you go, you have moccasins, fully beaded.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.